Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Sammy. I'm a registered dietitian, a personal trainer, and a fit model competitor currently on a cruise ship prepping for the Amateur Olympia, literally 7 weeks out from show day. So I'm going to share with you guys today what my day looks like on vacation, 7 weeks out from prep. I just did check-ins for my coach, so I have a lot of information to share with you guys. I'm going to share how I plan my meals, how I prep my meals, how I'm doing my best on enjoying my actual vacation while keeping prep the priority each and every day. I'm going to take you through a heavy leg day in the gym on the cruise ship, and lately it's been a little hectic, so I'll do my best to film content for you guys. Super excited to share what I've been learning along the way. This is my first time prepping on vacation, so things are a lot more intense than they would normally be. On vacation, typically, I do work out, I do eat healthy, but I do splurge, I do allow myself some desserts. So this is me being strict, but also, trying to have some local cuisines, trying to have some fun. I'm going to share that with you guys as well. So let's get started with my day. It is about 8:30 a.m. We were up pretty late playing a game last night. It's called the Crazy Quest. If you've ever taken a Royal Caribbean cruise ship, highly recommend doing it. My team won, which I'm very proud of. I definitely contributed to. Because of that, we were up till about midnight, and it's about 8:30 a.m. I wanted to get some sleep. It's our first full day at sea. My fiance got us some coffee, so he's waiting down at the cafe. I just got ready for the gym. I'm going to have about a half a banana, which I'm going to weigh out. I brought some bananas to my room. A lot of the times when I've been waking up at 6 a.m. to go do my workout, the actual buffet has been closed. So I've actually been taking some fruit with me to keep in my room so I can use it as a pre-workout snack. I'm going to have half the banana, head down, have a black Americano, and then we're going to go hit some heavy legs and have a nice big breakfast right after, and I'll share with you guys what I'm going to have. Now, I did do measurements this morning. My waist, I'm so excited about this, is exactly the same as it was when I left for vacation. So my focus this vacation was not to lose any more weight until I get back. I'm gone for 2 weeks, so I have one more full week on the cruise ship and in Spain. I knew I probably wouldn't be losing any weight because I couldn't really measure everything that I'm eating, but my focus was to just maintain the progress I already had, and that is why we pre-prepped me in advance for this trip. So my waist is the same at 24.75 inches. My glutes are the same at 35.2 inches. And I've been averaging about 111 in weight. I was 110.8 before I left for vacation. So very excited about my progress. Not to mention, I feel like I'm looking pretty lean. I'll share some progress photos with you guys. I could not be happier with the way I look. I couldn't be happier with my progress. This is my first full week away from home, no kitchen, eating out, estimating, barely weighing food, and I think I'm doing pretty damn good. I have another 7 days away, so I'm going to keep up that momentum, go really strong into the end of this trip, and then share with you what I've been learning. Now, I tracked everything in advance because I will not have service today because we are at sea. When we are docked, I do have international service and I can track my food, but at sea, I don't have any service. I have 2 tracking apps. I have MyFitnessPal, which is my standard tracking app, and then I've been using the My Macros app. While the My Macros app does not have all the brands that I'm using, it can track my food without Wi-Fi or service, so that's been helping me estimate as well. So let's head to the coffee shop. Let's head to the gym. I will share so much more along the way, but really excited to share with you guys what I've been learning. I waited till my first full day at sea to share this with you guys because I wanted to kind of get my own bearing first before sharing content, before sharing tips, and I've definitely been learning a lot, so I'm super excited to share that with you.
All right, I'm going to take you guys through my extremely modified lower body day on a cruise ship. Starting off with cable kickbacks, this one didn't have to modify too much, but getting on these cables was a pain in my butt. I did bring my own ankle straps because I knew the gym on the cruise ship would not have them. To make my workout more efficient, I superset these with glute bridges, bodyweight squats, and lunges just to warm my body up. Then they didn't have a barbell hip thrust machine, which I did not expect. So to make the workout a little bit more intense, I did single leg hip thrust. This is with a 75-pound dumbbell, the heaviest one they had on the boat. And it definitely made my glutes feel a little something. Haven't done single leg hip thrust in a minute. Whenever I need to intensify a lift, I always go with a single leg variation to make it a bit harder. Another movement I kept the same were my standing cable abductions, just a slight lean forward, really feeling this one in my glutes. Typically, I like to stick a pad on the outside of my legs so I get a bigger range of motion. But again, I'm limited on a cruise ship and just did the best that I could do. Definitely felt this one. It was a very good burn and a very busy piece of equipment, so I had to wait a while for this one. 3 sets of 15 to 20, really trying to feel that burnout. Last 2 lifts on this leg day are my hamstring curls seated and lying down. However, I only had a seated hamstring curl. So what I did is 4 sets of 8 to 10 seated regular. And then again, to intensify the movement, I did single leg on each side for about 12 to 15 reps, 4 sets. Finished this one up with 35 minutes of cardio.
So we just got back to the room from the gym. We had breakfast. As you guys can see, I had 3 eggs. I actually removed the yolks, so just the egg whites, 2 chicken sausages, an egg white veggie omelet. I've been estimating it at about a 3 egg omelet. It's pretty small with just a little bit of salsa on top. I do about a cup of pineapple, and then I did have a half cup of orange juice to mix my creatine with, just to give a little bit more than just water. I've been drinking mostly just water and coffee this whole trip, and seltzer water, which is unflavored. They don't have a lot of like typical seltzer waters here, especially on the ship. I did have a really good grapefruit soda yesterday that was 0 sugar, and I really liked that. I've never had that before, so that was fun to try. Then Austin got himself a protein shake, and I got myself a fresh squeezed juice, which had carrots, jalapeno, and tomato in it. I did track that at about an 8-ounce carrot juice drink. We are going to head up to the pool now. We have our books. We're going to read. I did my 30 minutes of cardio. I hit my legs. It was a pretty good leg session. Lots of substitutes, obviously, because they don't have, barbells and Smith machines, but they have plenty of equipment, and luckily I have the knowledge where I can substitute as needed. We are going to be chilling out now. I'm finally getting my coffee. I never even ended up drinking the coffee Austin got me because we went right to the gym. So gonna go get myself a nice strong Americano, chill by the pool, do a little reading, and maybe do some pool activities later in the day. So I just got my second meal. I have a nice garden salad with just a little bit of ham and some balsamic vinaigrette. We just finished up lunch. I did a 3-bean salad mixed with extra corn, peppers, onions, lots of veggies. There was already like a light olive oil on the 3-bean salad, so I used that as my dressing. I then take the drumsticks that they have in the buffet, and I take all the skin off, I remove the fat, and I add it in kind of like a rotisserie chicken. About 4 ounces is what I'm estimating. We're gonna go to a French class, which we're excited about, and then a tango class. We have dinner tonight. Luckily, I can see the menu ahead of time, so I already planned out what I'm gonna have for dinner. I'm gonna probably do the grilled shrimp with a steak. It is a lean cut steak with some roasted veggies and some roasted potatoes with no sauces or butter. So we just got up from our nap. I got myself a little seltzer water and a little mint tea. We have been staying up super late, so I'm just very tired today. Not gonna lie, I took like a 2-hour fat nap. Going to just walk around for a little bit. They have a nice track at the top deck, so we're gonna walk around there. We just kind of like are moseying around the boat. It's a full day at sea, not too much going on. We read by the pool and just really relaxing before we get to Sicily tomorrow morning, which will be there all day. We do have formal wear tonight, so we'll be heading back to the room soon to get ready for that. Very excited for that dinner. It's usually a really good one. I'm just gonna share a quick tip on how to be more active in general on a cruise ship. Take the stairs everywhere you go. We literally have taken no elevators, and my calves are paying for it with the heels I wore last night. But we take the stairs up, we take the stairs down, just getting in as much steps as we can on top of the 35 minutes of cardio I'm doing daily, and then just general walking around at each location we get to and walking around the boat. I've been averaging around 15,000 to 17,000 steps per day, so lots of walking, lots of steps, just kind of mitigate any of those little bit of extra calories I've been having. But again, staying pretty good on track, averaging around 1,300 to 1,500 calories per day, hitting at least 130 to 145 grams of protein. Something really cool that our ship does have is protein shacks. So they have like protein smoothies, creatine, homemade juices, very, very good. So super excited to be utilizing that. They also have a ton of diet foods, which I've never seen on a cruise ship before, like diet ice cream, diet desserts, sugar-free options, which have been really cool as well for people who want to just, you know, be a little healthier on the cruise ship. I myself am not including them. It's not worth the calories that they do have, but that's an awesome, you know, addition to the cruise ship to help kind of mitigate calories, because a lot of people go on trips and it's very food focused. So for dinner last night, I ended up getting this steak with veggies and roasted potatoes. No sauces, no butters, just plain. I added a little salt, a little pepper. I did add grilled shrimp, and I did add a shrimp cocktail just to make sure I hit my protein. Again, everything was tracked ahead of time. My coach did get back to me with updates, and I am right on track. I did not lose. I did not gain any weight. My measurements are exactly the same as they were before I went on my trip. Therefore, for the remainder of my trip, we are just going to keep things where they are at. I am doing 35 minutes of cardio each and every day. I'm averaging 15 to 17,000 steps. Yesterday, I did like 20,000 steps though, lots of walking. Calories are staying exactly the same until I get home. Once I get home, prep will really kind of crank up. I'll be 6 weeks out. Therefore, I'll be doing 45 minutes of cardio 6 days a week, and calories are going to get very, very low to make up for the 2 weeks I kind of just maintained. Now, again, I did plan accordingly for this trip and made sure I got to a weight that was manageable, where I wouldn't have to go crazy when I came back. I dropped a good amount of weight before this trip, and now we're going to go into the peak of my prep, full force ahead, I think 40 days out from the Amateur Olympia. Now, I am going to do a follow-up video with you guys and all the fun stuff I did eat on vacation, all the tips, all the tricks I have for you. If you're going on a cruise and you want to stay just generally healthy, maybe you're not in prep, but you do want to, you know, mitigate weight gain on vacation, I will share all the things I learned in another video. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you saw kind of like what it's like to be in prep and on vacation. Again, not something I recommend, but something that is manageable and doable. If you have a plan, if you know what you're doing going into it, and you can be pretty consistent and strict throughout the time being away, as well as having some balance. That's all I have for you guys today. If you don't already, please hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner, and I'll continue to share tips on competing, the fit model division, being on prep, being on vacation, and then going full force into prep next week. All right, have a great rest of your day, and thanks again for tuning in.